It took like 30 minutes. It was the worst 30 minutes of my life. They'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, refresh the page, will be checked. And I'm like, why I gotta call you for that to happen? Okay, so I'm gonna give it a buck with you. The harsh reality of it. Hey y'all, it's Jessie Jess. It's the gang just for show in this hoe, and I'm back with another school video. I'm gonna tell you some things I wish I knew before I went to college. Mind you, I'm not even in college yet. I start my fall semester in a couple days. It's been crazy. Okay, not only college but financial aid. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and let's get straight to it. When it comes to college, you are basically on your own. Kind of like your junior year when you gotta sign up for SATs and all that. That's it. Senior year, you're kind of on your own to apply to colleges and whatever. Or junior year. Now, here comes college. You are literally on your own. They do not help you. Depending on what college you go to, I'm not really sure what the other schools do. My school, the only time they really notify you is if it gotta do with money. Other than that, you gotta kind of remember. And like when it comes to signing up for college, enrolling into a college, you're literally on your own. Like it's like, who do you go to help for? Especially if you don't have someone in your family that like went to college already. I kind of had the idea of it, but like no one really emphasized how much you are literally on your own and how much you gotta stay on top of stuff on your own. Like I didn't really have my mom do anything because I'm like, I got it. And I realized how crazy it gets. So listen, I just wish I knew I was on my own, because they don't really remind you. They don't constantly remind you like, yo, you need to hand this in by this, that, and the third, or whatever. Or bro, you just gotta remember, you gotta write it down, you gotta keep a list. I suggest you keep a list of what needs to be done to be enrolled to the school and what you still haven't done and need to do. Okay, so I'm gonna give it a buck with you. Like I'm not one of those like people that are just full straight like ready for college. Like they could just be like, oh, here, I got the money here. No, I need financial aid. I'm not even like, now I understand why people say college is a scam, because I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. They're just money hungry, honestly. Like, yo, let me tell you. Okay, so we're in the middle of a pandemic and there's still some schools are increasing the tuition while others are freezing tuition. It's just like, why are you increasing the tuition? We're in a pandemic, people are losing their jobs, and the list goes on. Like I just realized how money hungry they are, and I'm gonna tell you also why. So for my school, I'm going to St. John. I'm just going to speak for my school. I really don't know how other schools work. If you have any differences, let me know. Just to enroll as a student, that's $200, and it's due by a certain day. It's usually due May 1st, but it was extended because of Corona. But $200 just to enroll. For housing, $500. So that totals $700, and I'm not even in the school yet. Oh hell no! Now I'm gonna keep going. Now if you are a student and you're commuting, you only have to pay, I believe it is $100 for parking. Now if you're a resident, you live on campus, you have to pay $500 for parking. I wish they told us this before we applied. Then on top of that, if you don't have insurance and your school provides insurance, you have to pay for that, and insurance is required before you go onto campus. So like I said, you have the enrollment fee, you have the housing fee, you have parking, you have insurance, and then you also have the meal plan, because as a college student you need a meal plan. Then after all of those and whatever else that the school decides to charge you for, you have your tuition. So that's where I understand why people say college is a scam, because they just tell you you need this to go to college. But I wish I knew that like you're gonna be spending so much more as time goes. That's what I wish I knew. Now another thing I wish I knew, people always say, oh, go do scholarships, like do a ton of scholarships, get that free money, it's free money, like do scholarships. I wish someone told me it's not that easy. Like it's literally not that easy. For scholarships, most of them you gotta write an essay. You're writing this essay, you need to prove that you fit the whatever category it's in, and you're doing all of this just so that you're picked out of like 100,000 other people who apply. Like what are the chances that you're actually gonna apply for the scholarship? I personally feel like it was a waste of time, so I never did scholarships. I got a scholarship for my school just for like at my academics and all that stuff, but I never did scholarships. And I mean, I kind of regret it, because that would be nice, because my school is really expensive, and eventually I will do them. But like I'm gonna just give you the harsh reality of it. It's a lot of work, and it's rare that you're actually gonna win the scholarship. So my word of advice though is, if you have a major that like not really anyone is doing in your school, like lawyer or doctor, like stuff that isn't so common. If you're in a major in general, go for scholarships that are only giving money to someone that is taking your major or going to this certain profession, because that is less people that you're in competition with. Other scholarships have to do with ethnicity. If you're black, if you're Hispanic, if you're Chinese, if you're the first person in your family to go to college, go for like scholarships like that that make it unique and that make the chance less slimmer for other people to win. Alright, so now I'm gonna go on the financial aid side of it. I wish I knew ahead of time that financial aid takes out some money when you pull out a loan. So if you're like pulling out a loan for like $12,000, you're probably only gonna get like $11,000 and like $600 or $700. So if you take out like a Parent Plus loan or like a sub loan, they're gonna take a loan fee amount out, so you're not actually getting the exact portion. They're taking their piece and you're only getting left with just around the amount. For the one I did, they took $528 out of it. It sounds like nothing, but that, you never know, that could always go a long way. So just keep that in mind when you're doing loans. What I wish I knew, sub loans have no interest because the interest is being paid by someone else. Now for unsub loans, you gotta pay the interest. So that means that over time, the amount that you actually owe will be more because they're adding money on top of it, like monthly or whatever, or however it works. You start paying your loans like 6 months after you graduate. 6 months after you're not like enrolled in school anymore. Something I wish I knew is that I would be calling the financial aid office and my school's financial aid office like every week because there was always some type of problem. A problem I had was that I noticed that my scholarships and my grants, like the amount was changing from time to time, and I'm like, why is it this and not this amount? And they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, refresh the page, will be checked. And I'm like, why I gotta call you for that to happen? So I suggest take a screenshot of the award amount that you need. If you ever owe money to the college, take a screenshot just to keep track of how much you really owe, because sometimes they'll add something on it. You just gotta stay on top of anything like having to do with money because they try to get you, they try to scam you. I wish I knew how long loans actually take. For loans, it takes up to like 4 days for it to get to your school. If you're doing like a Parent Plus loan, their credit has to be approved, and then you gotta complete this MPN, but then it'll be sent over to your school and it takes like 10 minutes to complete. I also wish I knew to take a loan out like ahead of time. Not only does it kind of take a little long to get to the school, but for like sub loans and subsidized loans, depending on what school you're going to, you might have to complete this counseling thing, and it takes forever. It's like 30, well, it took forever because I actually read it and like wanted to understand how loans and stuff work. Like you have to answer some questions, but it's possible to skip through it. But it took like 30 minutes and like it was the worst 30 minutes of my life. But I wish I knew to do it like ahead of time because there was a lot of problems in between, and then I was just scared because like in order for me to enroll into the school, I needed to have all the money given to them. So I was scared because I'm like, what if it's not handed in time, because I was last minute with everything. So I just wish I knew to do stuff like real early, because I wish I knew that financial aid does not cover housing. Like for housing, when it comes to school, you have to either pay out of pocket or pull out a loan. That's just how it works. Financial aid does not cover it. Scholarship don't cover it. Like, I wish I knew you had to be a full-time student in order to receive financial aid for that semester. Meaning full-time students, you need to have 12 credits or more. If it's below that, then you're a part-time student and financial aid will not help you. Another important thing, into my financial aid, my mother signed it, but then I went and updated it and I didn't get a signature, and then I ran into this problem. So I wish I knew the importance of the signature is on that FAFSA, because without signature, you're not getting no aid. You literally need that signature because like it's gonna mess everything up. So make sure to get it signed by a parent. And if you want more college stuff, I will be making a new video soon on how I got accepted to 15 colleges. And mind you, I'm not in any AP classes, honor classes. I'm a regular CP student, so I have other videos to inform you on stuff like this. So make sure to check them out. So make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, and I'm out.